at that time, maybe what she was doing was hip hop, but is she overall hip hop?
No,
I would say no.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I personally don't think so.
Maybe that moment of bars when she was, maybe that was hip hop. What she was doing.
I got this
But
one.
does she technically represent the culture? We gotta break down what hip hop is.
It's cool. It's cool. I don't know if this will ever see the light of day,
Probably,
but
hold on, if my head cut off, pause. I got to do
pause. Why is that a pause?
I don't know.
Why is that a pause? Like really?
Lean back up.
Pause crazy around here
Lean
now.
back up. Lean back up, though.
Oh no, that's So that's my camera.
No, it's not. It's not cut off. It's just the.
What's that? Oh, that's
what do you
just
call
an
that?
illusion.
No, the lettering, the bar, the
Time.
the time.
Yeah.
I'm already
Okay.
All right,
Okay. So the question is Doja Cat hip hop?
You gotta move down a little bit.
No, you still like.
All right, I'll go like that. I'm good.
Doja Cat, is she hip hop or not? I say yes.
Okay, let's define what hip hop is and to see if she represents.
I'm gonna let you
that.
define what hip hop is, and I'm gonna accept it.
You gonna accept it? No, if you don't accept it, don't accept it.
Okay. Well, what's hip hop?
Hip hop is four elements of hip hop. Let's just break it down.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and does she represent any of this? DJing, MCing, master of ceremonies, not rapping, MCing.
Oh, see. Here you go.
Graffiti and b-boying, breakdancing. Does she represent any of those?
Define MCing
Masters of ceremonies, MCing
versus rapping.
Rapping, okay. MCing is commanding a crowd.
So
with literature.
Okay.
Right. That's what MCing is. MCing is coming up with concepts. MCing is innovative wordplay.
Okay.
And, that's MCing. Rapping is just A B C D E F G. What you gonna do for me? That makes no sense. That's rapping.
Okay.
In my opinion, that's the difference between rapping and MCing.
Okay.
All right. Now, does Doja Cat represent any of that?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, she can rap.
She can rap.
She can actually bar it up.
She can bar it up. Because Wonda
and it's my understanding, and I don't know this for a fact. I'm not gonna say this is factual, but it's my understanding that she writes.
Right. Well, let's not even get into that because some
Okay.
of my dope artists
Okay.
that I like, I don't want to get into whether they.
Oh.
It's what they represent because Salt and Pepper didn't write their own stuff. No, we have to be fair. Salt and Pepper didn't write their own stuff, but they represent the culture of hip hop.
Salt and Pepper definitely is a representation.
They're a representation of hip hop.
Okay.
So it's a lot of people out there that didn't write, that don't write.
You can look at Salt and Pepper. They don't
wow!
have to
Because
say
wait a minute,
a word, and you can tell that they are a representation of hip hop.
That's fine. That's fine. But hold on. When we're talking about MCs, one of the major distinctions between being an MC and a rapper or rapping is that you write your own raps.
Okay, fair enough.
That's an actual gold standard of being an MC.
Right, and I'm not saying Salt
so
and
let
Pepper
me.
didn't write
I'm not.
everything.
This is really not about Salt and Pepper. So I'm not condemning them. But if we want to include them in this conversation and say that they are hip hop and have not written, say, all their songs, they have written some of their songs, but a lot of their major records they did not write.
Right, and that goes.
And they were hip hop before they started writing their songs. We can establish that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, assuming so that kind of to me even strengthens my position that Doja Cat is hip hop.
She's hip hop. So
The assumption is that first of all, she's a great performer.
Okay.
Well, she's a good performer. I can't say I've seen. Okay, let me say this. I saw her last night on the VMAs.
You're basing all this on what you saw last night.
She
Stop it.
has a stage show.
Stop it.
She's not a performer. She has
She's
a
not
stage
performer?
show.
Is Beyonce a performer?
Crazy antics on the stage that get your attention more than her actual performance.
But isn't that a part of being a great performer?
Most great performers go on the stage by their damn self.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
A lot of them do.
Janet,
Jay-Z,
Michael,
I never.
Madonna,
But we're talking hip hop. Those are not hip hop artists.
MC Hammer.
Hold on. You said
MC
you
Hammer.
said Madonna's not hip hop.
Boogie Down Productions.
Let's stay in the lane.
Okay.
KRS One. How many people on stage? You said Boogie Down Productions. How many times have you seen KRS One on stage, and you got the whole light show and people dancing in costumes and doing everything but being hip hop. How many times have we seen that? How many times? KRS-One.
Nah, not a lot. I mean, at this point in his career,
I don't think I've ever seen Nas be on stage without anybody but himself.
Well,
I don't recall seeing Jay-Z.
I mean, I've seen him with
anybody
crew.
on stage but himself.
Yeah, but
you know
that doesn't in and of itself. That does not mean you're not hip hop.
I'm not saying that that's not hip hop, but we're talking about. You said it was part of the show. My thing with Doja Cat. All right, we talked about Salt and Pepper. I don't want to keep bringing up Salt and Pepper, but Salt and Pepper, we know are rappers, right? So if Salt and Pepper decides, you know what, I'm gonna make a dope reggae song. Does that make them reggae artists?
No, because hip hop encompasses almost every genre.
Capitalizing off of an opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
And we don't gotta use Salt and Pepper. Let's say Queen Latifah.
I mean, I'm gonna say Queen Latifah.
That does not.
I think Queen Latifah is more rooted in reggae, so that never was like, oh, she's just trying to capitalize off this wave.
I mean, you have artists like Shinehead. You have artists like Lil Vicious.
It was dope as fuck,
but they were the merger between reggae and hip hop. So they introduced us to reggae. I wouldn't say Shinehead is a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And Shinehead wouldn't call himself a rapper. He could be considered hip hop, but we considered him reggae. I considered Supercat reggae. I considered Ninja Rap reggae. I was introduced to these people because of hip hop, but I'm not gonna say that they're hip hop. Okay. And I'm not gonna say Doja Cat is hip hop.
So why isn't Doja Cat hip hop to you?
I feel like Doja Cat is just like Salt and Pepper saying, let's make a reggae song with a dope reggae producer because we can make money from it, because we have a name. I don't necessarily feel Doja Cat is I mean, she's been in the game over 10 years. You rapping now?
She's always rapped.
I mean, I don't know. I don't. Not that I could
just start.
Not
rapping.
that I could. Not from what I remember. And to be like, oh, the first #1 hip hop song of the year is Doja Cat. You know, it just.
Oh, is that what she got?
She got the first #1 hip hop song of the year.
Nah, she's a hip hop artist.
They're changing that word.
By the way, I want to mention,
really
wherever we're looking at, my man Bobby Yan, the esteemed producer and director, is in agreement with me that Doja Cat is hip hop. Now, here's my thing. We have seen hip hop for 50 years, and it has seen so many different versions of itself. Mm-hmm. So you've seen artists come into the culture as a rapper or whatever, and so I would beg to say that Mike Tyson is hip hop. Never rapped, never DJ'd, never was a breakdancer.
No,
let's stick to the people that are performers though, Chuck.
Okay. No, because
I mean, we could go on forever about who's hip hop, but we're talking about the players, who's the people. Well,
Doja Cat is a really good rapper, and right now, in this present day, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm gonna keep it 100% extremely real with y'all. And this is really even me going out on a limb. Mm-hmm. I looked at the performances last night, and I'm talking to VMAs, so we're talking high level performers, high level, even commercialism of hip hop on that stage, right? Aside from the pioneers that performed, aside from LL Cool J and those people, the MC or the rappers, because MC is, I mean, I'm using those terms interchangeably at this point. Mm-hmm. The rappers that performed, I saw one that I felt, okay, this person can hold it down for rapping going forward. And I think she's intentional about this right now too, by the way. Because she's promoted this project as a hip hop album. Okay. That's how she's promoted it. Because she got up there, she didn't get extra sexual, she didn't do extra whatever. She wasn't.
She had the devil, the whole.
She had the devil. See, I didn't see it.
You saw her performance?
The whole there.
You saw her performance?
You talking about Doja Cat?
Last night.
Yes, I saw her dressed normal, but everybody behind her was dressed in red and had makeup on like they were in hell.
Okay. See, you going elsewhere with it. I'm talking about what she was rapping about. What she was saying.
I just jumped in on what you were speaking about as far as
so I'm talking about what she was rapping
and the imagery that she.
Yeah, because you said she was spitting bars.
I mean, are we gonna talk? If we go, first of all, let me just finish my statement.
Mm-hmm.
She was spitting bars. Period. Flat out bars. She was rapping. She wasn't extremism. She wasn't rapping about Satan.
Okay.
She was rapping about.
Give me a quotable.
Bro, I don't have a quotable. I don't have a quotable. I don't have a quotable from her. I don't have a quotable from Wayne. I don't have a quotable from Megan. I don't have a quotable from LL. I mean, I know LL songs by heart.
Right.
So of course I have a quotable. But anybody that rapped last night, I don't have a quotable.
You got a quotable. So what was the highlight of said rap?
She was barring it up.
She was barring it up. Okay.
She was barring it up, and to me that's important. When we talk about Hip Hop 50. And I don't mean Hip Hop 50 from the past. I mean Hip Hop 50 going forward. You're going to need high-level performers. You're going to need people that actually can withstand and hold up in a commercial realm. Are y'all listening? Are y'all listening?
I'm definitely listening.
We're listening.
So, we are seeing now, especially now, in a era where our musical tastes are siloed with our little posse, right? So you, me, and Wonda might just listen to Griselda, and the rest of the world don't get tapped in because we on our headphones or we sharing it amongst ourselves.
Right.
The days of MTV are gone as it was, BET gone, the radio gone as it was, where people huddled around whatever your program was for an hour or two and listen to the same exact music. BET Rap City, same exact music. Yo MTV Raps, same thing. So the whole world was in unison.
Right.
It doesn't exist like that anymore. So it's more and more important than ever before that we have artists that we can all say, oh, I remember that one song or whatever. So I'm not here to argue if Doja Cat's a Satanist. That's not for me to do.
What I feel with Doja Cat, honestly, I feel she's like being planted into the hip hop genre. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily feel she's a hip hop artist or she represents hip hop, but I feel like there may be powers that be that say, let's make her the top female of hip hop. Let's change the way hip hop looks. Let's change the narrative of hip hop. So now let's put her at the top of the rap game instead of it being somebody like a Nicki Minaj, who we know for however many years was a rapper who represented hip hop, who came as a rapper. Let's even go with Rhapsody. Like, let's even take it to some of these kind of artists, It's easier for somebody like Doja Cat to be placed on the top. It just seems like, I hate to say it like this,
I may ask you,
and I don't want to be like, but it almost seems like Doja Cat is part of the whitewashing of hip hop.
How so?
Because as I see it, and as people that I speak to that are like deeply rooted into hip hop culture, they see her as like a white girl. And I don't mean to, and I'm not trying to be racial or anything. You know what I'm saying? But you have people like a Doja Cat, and then you have somebody like a Nicki Minaj.
But Nicki Minaj is still one of the biggest artists in hip hop.
She is.
She's
right.
one of the biggest. And quite frankly, the imagery that you speak of, Nicki has flirted with those imageries as well.
Which imageries are you speaking
of?
Exactly?
Well, provocative images, like let's just say the Monster video, just as one example. That video, people had issues with that at that point, and saying that was on some other stuff. Basically.
I mean, since we're talking about imagery, I don't think Nicki Minaj or any other artist in hip hop have fully dressed as the devil and wore complete devil.
Megan did.
But I feel like that's all part of this new matrix. I feel like a lot of the new artists are pushing this agenda, and I feel like with somebody like Doja Cat, it's easy to keep pushing this narrative as opposed to somebody like Nicki who's gonna be like da 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 and call shit out, you know. So instead of her having her be the face of hip hop, now let's say this is the new face of hip hop. Jack Harlow is the hip hop rapper of the year. Fucking,
but
Ezekiel Mill or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's like,
wait. Are those guys hip hop? Is Easy Miller
I can't
Easy
really
Mill hip hop?
I haven't listened to him fully.
I'll tell you,
but
he
it does kind of feel like a shift.
I'm a disagree.
Almost like we want to say, okay, you know, we don't want hip hop to look or be like this anymore. We want hip hop to look and be like that.
I think that here's my counter to that. First of all, 50 years of hip hop. Hip hop's global. Hip hop has permeated every aspect of our lives, our cultures. Easy Mill, I've studied him, and by the way, all hip hop's covered him for years. And he raps in 3 languages. He's from the Philippines. He's given us, actually, I didn't know this was going to happen, but it did. Given us an incredible surge in traffic straight from the Philippines.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No ifs, ands, buts, or maybes about it. And then other regions as well, globally, have responded to him. I interviewed him. This kid is hip hop. His top 5 includes Tech 9, for God's sakes, and this other artist I can't remember, but the same vein. Kendrick Lamar, A$AP Rocky. He's name checking people that you don't even mention. Tech 9 being the most obvious one, and then you have Jack Harlow. I don't know so much about, but I'm saying this to say that hip hop has always included other races, other demographics, other backgrounds.
That's not the issue. I don't think. I don't have an issue with that at all.
I know, but
it's supposed to be global.
Let me finish my thought. But the result of that is they become a part of it. They become active in it, and sometimes I would say Eminem might be the most notable case. They uplift it as well on global platforms, suburban regions, middle America who doesn't necessarily mess with it. There's gonna obviously be a other side to that, right? Because erasure is real, but at the same time,
I'm glad you used that word.
I use that word a lot.
See, this is the point that I'm trying to make with the Doja Cat. It kind of almost wants to like erase a certain demographic of hip hop females, and it be this now. That's
not her fault.
That's just
though.
How I feel about
that's
Doja Cat
fault, actually.
Being placed as the #1 rapper with the #1 rap song of the year overnight.
That's not overnight. She's not overnight.
Her being a rapper is overnight.
It's not, Bobby.
Doja
is
Cat
Doja
been
Cat rapping?
In the rap. Doja Cat been singing and making R&B/pop music from what I recall since 2014, from when I got introduced to her. For 10 years. You know what
Bobby,
I'm saying?
do you know anything about Doja Cat? I'm just
a little bit.
How long has she been rapping?
Over 10 years. Yeah.
Okay, she's been rapping. She's been rapping for a long.
Are we calling?
She's a rapper.
R&B music rapping.
Dog. Lauryn Hill sings. Lauryn Hill raps.
She's not
Nicki
rapping.
Minaj sings. Nicki Minaj raps. Nicki Minaj's biggest hit is a singing song, a clubby record. Like, this is what we're able to do now. We're able to be whatever the word is, multi-hyphenates. We can do multiple things, and that's good. I interviewed Easy Mill, and he does rock and roll music as well as rap. You know what I'm saying? So we're not limited in the way we do things now. And I feel like from a creative perspective, that's okay to let people... Jazzo sings.
Right. But to your point, Easy Mill can do heavy metal rock, but they're not calling him rock when he does it. He's saying they're calling her that because she does one hip hop record or a couple hip hop records.
She does not do one hip hop record. She does many.
That's what I'm just saying.
She raps.
That's what he's
she
saying.
Actually raps.
He's saying
she literally raps.
I get it.
She actually literally raps. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think
they're just quick to label it.
I think that she's pop. She's pop rap, but so is Nicki Minaj. So is Lil Wayne. Like anything right now, pop. Right, matter of fact, you know what? Hip hop is pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
I'll go with that.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, what they call hip hop now. Pop. What they're calling hip hop now is pop to me.
Yo, people are performing at the White House doing hip hop.
Right.
Literally Too Short.
That's kind of what's going on. What they're calling hip hop is pop.
It's pop, but pop music is only popular. It's not actually a genre.
Right.
It simply means popular. That's all. And I mean, listen, we can always talk about people's politics and they this and they that. I mean, we can go way back to damn Esham and rappers like that.
Did he kill somebody?
Well, no, that was another rapper. X-Ray.
No, was it Esham? But
there was Big Lurch.
Big Lurch.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happened in hip hop. It's still hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying she's hip hop. Period. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts, maybes about it. And I'm not the biggest Doja Cat fan. I can't name one bar from her. I have some in my playlist.
So is she really?
So now, what are you saying?
There's many.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is, right now,
anybody that you enjoy,
that's not true,
you respect enough, you can say
that's not true.
That's not true. And this is this, and you can have a history of saying that you can consistently say this, but all you're vaguely saying is she's been a rapper for 10 years. Where? What do we have to say?
Google her,
what
please?
Can we say, or what can we reference to stamp that? I could reference many of Nicki Minaj's songs. Out of the one or two Nicki Minaj songs you said was singing, I could reference her being on Monster and out-rapping Jay-Z and fucking Kanye. Can we do that for Doja Cat? To say that she is the number one female rapper in the game right now.
It doesn't matter.
She is the number one female rapper.
Shay No War. Shay No War.
Shay
No War. Can you name a bar from Shay No War?
I only heard of her from you.
Okay,
and that's no disrespect.
But I
know
songs,
she's hip hop.
I got songs.
I know for a fact she's hip hop. I'm not gonna
say
you're a
hip hop snob. You're a hip hop snob then.
I'm not gonna say she's a pop
artist.
Hip-hop
snob then.
It's not a matter of being a hip hop artist.
I'm not a hip hop snob. I don't have to love you for you to be hip hop.
People, you categorize people for what they are. Shay Noir, you could never call her a pop artist. Just like I could never call Doja Cat a hip hop artist. That's just me.
That's fine, man, but I got news for you. She's at the top of the hip-hop charts right now.
By placement. That's my argument.
She's not. Nah, bro. Listen, man, she's a popular artist that does hip-hop.
It's placement. This is plant music.
Plant music?
This is
now we got a new name?
That's what I'm calling it.
You calling it plant music?
There's a lot of plant music right now.
Man, everything is plant music, bro. And I'm going to keep it real with you.
Who? The red chick.
Red chick is plant music.
Oh, red, sexy red.
That's indoctrination music.
Nobody been
that is music.
I'm sorry. That's fine. Was NWA plant music?
Absolutely. I think a lot of hip hop was plant music. I mean,
was Eminem plant music?
I didn't listen to Eminem. I never really was listening to Eminem.
No, but I'm not. It's not about whether you listen to him or not. I'm saying that basically. And I'm not shading
Vanilla Ice, I could say was plant music.
But Vanilla Ice...
Eminem, I'm not going to say so much because I feel like Eminem comes from a different background. And Eminem is he talks hip-hop, he represents hip-hop every chance he gets. He bigs up the old cats. He never tries to, like, be pop.
Is Doshi a plant?
I'm not too familiar with her music.
You know what? Let me tell you what's happening. I'm going to tell you what's happening.
If Lizzo started rapping, I would think that's weird. If Lizzo started rapping and then she started being acclaimed. She started being acclaimed.
So she started rapping.
Aren't Lizzo and Doja Cat two of the same artists?
No, they're different artists. They're similar. So my point is this, man. My point is Lizzo raps. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I'm sure everybody raps. Anybody that writes music can say, I'm going to write a rap. I'm going to write my music in the form of a rap song. I think that anybody that's capable of writing music can write rap.
Do y'all listen to hip hop now?
Not really. Not as much as I do.
I do.
Not as much.
Like who? You gotta give me artists.
Anything that...
I mean, if you're talking about actually just listening to hip-hop, yes, I listen to hip-hop.
And I don't mean hip-hop that's 20, 30 years ago. I mean, like...
No, I mean, I make hip-hop. I make music. I make hip-hop.
But do you listen to any artists that come out now? Like the 30... I don't even want to name 38 Special and Conway, but they just dropped a new album. Did you listen?
I listened to... We were just talking about...
I listen to Benny. I listen to Conway. I listen to 38 Special. I didn't listen to the new project. But I do tap in with these dudes. I guess, and this is what inspires me to make what I make. You know what I'm saying? But I don't listen to Doja Cat to be inspired to listen to hip hop. I listen to Doja Cat and I'm inspired to make R&B. I'm inspired to make soulful shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It doesn't even inspire me to make pop. I'm not even gonna say that it does. The music that I like from Doja Cat is some of her most soulful stuff. She's singing about weed. She's singing about love and stuff like that. That's what I like from Doja Cat. But for me to just act like Doja Cat is just gonna skip the line because she's at the top of the food chain in popularity and just start putting a crown on her as the queen of hip hop, I can't do that.
Nobody did that though.
But that's what I think is happening, and we're at the very beginning stages of it. And I'm calling it out now because I can see in another, maybe the next go round of this, she's gonna be labeled the queen of rap. I just see that happening, and I feel like that's part of the whitewashing that I'm talking about. And I'm not saying whitewashing like music is only hip hop is only supposed to stay black, or it's only supposed to be in New York, or it's worldwide, it's global, and it's for everybody.
Right.
But when we putting things in the perspective, and we have this pot of people, and we're saying Doja Cat, you got like a Cardi B, or you got like a Nicki Minaj, or you got these people who are in this pot. I'm not gonna say Doja Cat over these people. It's just not realistic.
It's a over anyone thing. I think it's a diversity of what hip hop has to offer. So on that stage yesterday, we had this girl named Callie. We had Nicki Minaj. We had Doja Cat,
Cardi B and Megan.
Right.
And that was, I would say, diverse. Like the offerings last night was actually encouraging. And Nicki came out of, she came and presented a different version of herself.
Right.
And she got on her rap stuff too.
Right. Who's more hip hop? Well, maybe not. Should say the word
more hip hop.
Okay. Scarlett, Doja Cat.
I think, listen, man, listen, back in the day, people got on MC Hammer's neck. Mm-hmm. And they was like, oh, New York was, that,
you know what? No,
I know he dissed running them.
That's
I know he dissed running them. I know he dissed running them. I know he dissed running them. Everybody came out dissing though. Everybody did. You know what I'm saying? But Hammer presented himself in a different way. He was dancing.
But he was whack.
Hammer wasn't whack.
Hammer was a whack rapper, bro.
He
was a great entertainer.
But there's plenty whack rappers, bro.
And you have to call it out.
There's plenty whack rappers, but we felt people, and I'm not even gonna say me. We, as a culture, felt comfortable shouting Hammer out.
No, I like Hammer.
Because he didn't do the version of hip hop that was cracking in New York at that time. That's why he was whack to people. He wasn't ever whack though. I know his records by heart, bro. Even Let's Get It Started.
He was not a great rapper,
but it doesn't matter. There was so much garbage in hip hop. So much garbage. But Hammer hit the top of the charts.
That he did.
That's the difference. And he was an entertainer. That's the difference. Right. He danced. That's the difference.
He was on nobody's top 5.
It's not about that.
That's how I feel about Doja Cat. I feel like she's an entertainer.
She's an entertainer.
And
there's nothing wrong with entertaining.
They're putting the rap label on her.
Nah, son. So let me tell y'all this. Let me tell this to y'all. Let me ask.
He was a dope entertainer, but he wasn't a great rapper. That's
fine,
what I'm saying,
bro.
That's all I'm saying. And I love Hammer.
Fine.
I don't like Hammer. I love Hammer.
I don't want to name check anybody.
Right.
Because I'm not going to disrespect anybody. But it's comfortable to name check Hammer because that's a thing. That was a thing. Right now, Hammer can't even get his flowers. He don't even pull up.
Which is
he
crazy.
deserves mad flowers.
He does.
Because he advanced the culture.
He did.
He advanced the culture, bro.
Right.
He, like it or not, he advanced the culture.
When we're talking about the talent of said culture,
no, it was never just rapping, though. Right. Why y'all acting like it was just rapping? It was never about just rapping, ever.
Okay, so then he
tell me it was only. Tell me that it was only ever about just rapping.
It wasn't. It was about the entertainment.
In no
factor.
case.
It was the entertainment.
I promise y'all. I promise y'all.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell y'all. In no case whatsoever was it only about rap. How well you were as a rapper.
So what do you think got Eminem? So are you gonna say that Eminem got successful because he was white? Or because of his rapping?
He was an entertainer. It was his rapping.
It was
because
a combination.
He wasn't much of an entertainer. He wasn't. I guess
he was.
I'm not going to say he was an entertainer because of the videos and stuff like that. I'm not going to say he wasn't an entertainer.
He was an entertainer. He was acutely aware that he could not get up there and freestyle his way to superstardom. And so was Dr. Dre, and so was the movement at Interscope behind him. They were clear that this guy can rap. But you can't get by on just rapping. And I'm gonna use one example of an MC that I love and loved, and that's
not true.
And that's Cannabis. And I'm not. And
what
so,
about Nas?
What about Nas?
Nas has great records.
But it's based on the fact that he can rap.
Nas not based on anything else. Nas doesn't do the other stuff.
What's Nas's biggest record? I'll wait.
His biggest record? That's subjective. But
no.
Okay, with Lauren, If I Rule the World.
I mean,
no, it's not.
No,
it's not.
No,
it's not. No, it's not.
I mean, it could be the one with Genuine.
No, it's not.
I don't know.
No, it's not.
What is the point?
It's Uchi Wally.
Uchi Wally? That's not his biggest record.
Look it up. Look it up.
That's not his biggest record.
Look it up.
That's not Nas's.
We don't like that record.
No,
I don't like that record.
That's not his biggest record.
I don't love that record. I never loved that record.
I don't even play that record no more.
I promise you. Look it up. I looked it
Nas's
up.
record is
it's not.
Is
your favorite record.
If I Rule the World.
I Can is not. What your favorite record is and what his biggest record is different. I'm going to give y'all a perfect example. Keith Sweat's biggest record is not what you think it is.
Make It Last Forever?
No.
You know.
Twisted.
That's it. Twisted. My friend and I go back and forth over that every time because she hates that song.
I
know it's not hip hop.
Different climate though. I mean, that was when records was selling more. Records were that was like the peak of record sales.
My point is listen to me.
For urban.
My point is my favorite MC. It's been recorded over and over. Is Cool G Rap, right? But he does not have the same records that Rakim and Kane have. Right, and I'm not, and again, I never will ever disrespect G Rap
because I think G Rap has some better records than Rakim.
He has.
To be honest with you, I go back to listen to G Rap records before I go back and listen to Rakim.
But my point is listen, if you are in a party, if we're in a party, and you play said Rakim song, we gonna all start doing the WAP. All of us. If you go into said party and you play Ain't No Half Stepping, I'm gonna go but ham. If you play Men at Work in that same party, I'm going crazy. I'm saying every stinking word in that joint. If you play Lyrics of Fury, that's Rakim. If you play Lyrics of Fury, I'm gonna go crazy. If you play L Street Blues, you might get bop.
That's a head bop.
Right.
It's not for the club.
So
G-Rap didn't make music for the club.
Right, he didn't. But at the same token, when it comes to hip hop, and again, I'm not actually saying this about Doja Cat because hip hop is in a whole different sphere right now. It's a whole different realm completely. First of all, we don't tap in at all. We ain't in the clubs. We ain't quote unquote outside. We ain't doing the things young people do. We are not young and impressionable anymore. But when you're talking about the unifying force that it was back in the day, there's only a few people that are that unifying force now. And that's why in our top 5 that are lives that we do now with the younger artists, you see more and more people say Drake than ever before. And in my humble opinion, that's because people can share in that experience with Drake. They on the same page. They've all heard his records. He's a multi hip hop generational artist at this point, and he pops up because there's consistency there of artistry. He didn't write every bar of.
So,
but
let me ask you this, since we're on the topic of Drake, right? You mentioned Keith Sweat. I know your parents probably played some real classic R&B when you was coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Can we call Drake an R&B artist?
To me, Drake's a hip hop artist.
So, I say this to say,
like Lauryn Hill.
But we're not gonna call him an R&B artist.
I wouldn't call him an R&B
That's
artist.
how I feel about Doja Cat.
But it's just, I mean, that's tomatoes tomato to me. I mean, Doja Cat raps.
It's just the male and female version. It's the same exact thing.
So if Drake's a hip hop artist,
pop, she's known to be a pop artist. The same way Drake is known to be a hip hop artist. But Drake is also a singer. But are you gonna categorize him as a singer and say he's Keith Sweat or he's, If
I told you
I
told you Doja Cat raps more than she sings, if I say that to you,
Drake sings more than he raps.
That's a fact.
But I'm asking you specifically about Doja Cat. If I say to you she raps more than she sings, is she not a rapper all of a sudden?
But I don't think she raps more than she sings, though.
I
don't know.
I don't know. Like I legit don't know. So
the style of her music is not
the style of her popular music.
The style of the music she's known for is not
right.
Is not what we consider hip hop.
Queen Latifah has jazz albums.
Yeah,
Guru has jazz records.
But he's still a rapper.
But he's still a rapper. Albums. But those records. This is what creativity is, bro. It allows you to do different things. It's fluid now. It's not just one thing anymore. You know what I mean? So Doja Cat actually has rap projects. Pop, maybe what you would say are pop rap projects, and she has singing projects. But right now, she's being intentional about doing. Like, I'm gonna get in my rap bag, hip hop bag. I'm gonna get in my.
I could never.
Drake don't do that too much, but
say, yo, Drake is the next Marvin Gaye.
Why is it?
Drake reminds me of Barry White.
Drake reminds you of Barry White?
I could never say that.
Nobody in their right mind would say that.
This is like why I can't say Doja Cat gives me that old Queen Latifah feeling.
She shouldn't.
It gives me that old.
She shouldn't. You got gray hairs in your beard, bro. She shouldn't give you no feeling whatsoever, actually.
But she's in a completely different category. That's the point that I'm trying to make. The same way you can say Drake is not going to be considered Marvin Gaye and Drake is not going to be considered a top of the top singer, I can't say Doja Cat is going to be, to me, considered the top of the top rappers.
That's not in question here. The question is she hip hop?
But we're saying that she is the number one female rapper right now. This is the narrative that is being.
Wait.
This is the narrative that I say is coming. Which is why I say I have a problem with it, because I feel like it's like a corporate takeover.
That's
like
commercialization.
It's like a way.
That ship sailed a long time ago, bro. That ship sailed a long time ago.
But let's make sure we're on the same page.
We actually are closer to the same page than ever before.
Because, I just can't put.
So if you tell me,
say, yo, she, I can't say that I'm looking forward to a Doja Cat rap album.
That's fine, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I eagerly await Rhapsody's next project. I say this, I love Rhapsody. I was working out to Rhapsody last night. I love Rhapsody. I am not. I'm gonna keep it. Well, no, I take that back. I am looking forward to the Doja Cat album. I take that back. But this is literally the project I'm looking forward to. I've listened to her previous work, but this is the one I'm looking forward to. But wait a minute, let me finish. So what you prefer versus what the agenda is versus what even Doja Cat is it's all fine. I'm gonna say this: she can be hip hop, which I believe she is. She can also be a part of the agenda, which is debatable, and we can also look forward to Rhapsody, Shay Noir, Cyrock, and all the other lyrical and more underground or thoughtful or whatever you want to call them MCs as well. It can all be the same thing because that's all hip hop ever was. When MC Hammer was popping, G-Rap was popping. When MC Hammer and G-Rap was popping, Rob Bass was popping. When them three were popping, Rakim and the Afros was popping. Like all of that stuff was happening at the exact same time. Not to mention Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, PM Dawn. Like for real. Like I'm not a fan of the PM Dawn, for example. But I just think that hip hop has always been an expanded thing. There have always been agendas. Russell Simmons and Run DMC was an agenda. Like, hey, we try and get on MTV. What we gonna do? Put some rock and roll to some rap and let's get it on thing. And it worked.
But would it be safe to say that Run DMC is rock and roll?
Run DMC.
I mean, I guess we can say that. But are we gonna say
actually,
that? I mean, we can say that, but
actually,
even as much as we can say it, we still don't say it.
But Ice-T does literally a heavy metal band that has outlasted his rap career.
But he doesn't. When he says he's a heavy metal artist, he identifies as just that.
What's that?
He identifies as a rock star. He doesn't identify as a rapper.
Yeah, he do.
Well,
he do both.
He does both. When he in his rock lane, he's his rock. He's the rock character. That
man is one thing in one human form. It ain't no two characters to it. He's literally.
But the music is not in the. If you're not gonna go find Body Count in the hip hop section, you're gonna find Body Count in the rock section. You will
because it's metal. But at the same time, he has singing versions of metal. He has rapping versions of metal. He got metal songs with Smooth the Hustler on it. You know what I mean? Like, it is a different day, man. Like, real talk. And I think that hip hop, the real problems that you're talking about, is a problem with our culture. We sell out too quick.
I think
there's other issues.
Is selling out the culture.
Huh?
I'm glad you said that because I feel like allowing this is selling out the culture. Allowing us to say that this person is the hottest rap female right now, which is gonna happen, which is next. This is the first step. The next is her album comes out and it's gonna do numbers clearly because regardless of what she does, it's gonna do numbers because she's.
But what do you dislike about her so much? Like literally, I mean, we have some pretty
this is
crappy rappers right now. Like we have some really trash MCs, rappers, MCs.
This has nothing to do with the music. My issue with her is always, the imagery and the devil worshiping shit.
But don't you think? Let me ask you this.
I don't necessarily agree with that, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm not saying everybody has to be religious. Everybody has to believe in God, and people may not. But
she
thanked
God last night.
But I to see that is kind of like.
I'm pretty sure she thanked God.
I mean, there's pictures of her. This girl fully dressed like the devil.
By the way,
you know what I'm saying?
But here's my thing, man.
And I don't represent that. To me,
I don't either.
That is like
I don't either. I'm clear.
Shield. That's like
I'm clear. I don't represent that at all.
And
that's
super clear. The problem I have with her, and this is another problem that I have with the machine, because I feel like people that are working, working for the powers that be, if that is even what she's doing. But the people that are representing this are doing this, I don't think by their own nature. I think this is something that they know they signed up for. They know that this is part of what they do. And I feel like it's an infiltration. And with this infiltration, it's being spilled into hip-hop. And this is somebody that's a puppet or a vehicle for this. Fair. And this is the problem that I have with people like her being put on such a high pedestal. because I feel like it's bringing in other stuff.
I think we got to watch out for the people that don't wear the devil suits, quite frankly. You know what I mean? I think there's people who don't wear devil suits who actually present themselves as hip-hop who are much more dangerous than any of the rappers that are wearing devil suits. And also, there are other negative forces that I think are far more detrimental to our young people. Most of our folks and even others don't. But there are many others that do, and there's men, mind you, who are extremely problematic. And by the way, I just want to say this too. By no stretch of the imagination, are there not issues with Doja Cat? There are issues with Doja Cat. There's issues actually with daggone near everybody.
Right.
We got issues with everybody. She just happens to not be as hip hop as you might like, but we saw a video of her a couple weeks ago. She's in an old all hip hop video, swooning over Dave East, right? So I think that some of our people.
I mean, Dave East is 6'5". You know what I'm saying? He's in shape. I mean,
What's that got to do with it? Wait, you
she probably just like the man.
Oh, you don't know that, man. She knew who he was, though. She knew who
probably
Dave
just
East
liked
was.
it. I mean,
She knew who
he's
Dave
still
East
a celebrity.
was.
I mean,
He wasn't.
He's on
She knew.
television.
Dave East is a celebrity.
Dave
But
East
she
is a
was
celebrity.
sweating Dave East like that was Jay-Z. Like that was, Eminem. She was on him. You know what I mean?
Why,
but my
why
thing
wouldn't
is,
she be?
but they,
What
but
does
if
that have
you,
to
but
do with
if
anything?
you're a fan, no, my thing is if you are a fan of Dave East, you are a fan of hip hop. I would venture to say, are a part of the hip hop community.
Doja Cat is partially black. You know, Dave East is somewhat of a sex symbol. I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with rapping. I think if it was
But you can't put
Tyson
yourself. You
Beckford
don't know.
at Hot 97, she would have acted the same way.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I think we have to find Doja Cat, ask her that.
Yeah, let's get her up there.
Put that on the.
That's the next interview.
Yeah, let's get Doja Cat. Because I again, I don't think we're as far off as we were when we started.
Yeah,
I think hip hop has to take control and uplift the people we claim to support, rather than cast, a shadow or whatever on someone else that's shining very brightly. And I think that I'm gonna stop talking after this. Because I have seen artists be very intentional about not being underground, about not being regulated to the fringes or the margins. And when you do that, you do in fact do different things, like sing or like dress provocatively, or do things that get you more press or accolades creatively.
Right.
So I do think there's a lot of that. I think Doja Cat just happens to be one that pushes it to the limit, which most people don't. And that's in the spirit of Madonna to me. That's in the spirit of MC Hammer, in the spirit of Michael and Janet, and even others. Beyonce knows how far to go, but she also pushes those boundaries too. Right. So I think that ultimately Doja Cat's a polarizing figure that, if she wasn't, we wouldn't be here right now talking about her. We didn't start this off with, man, Cyrock's not hip hop, let's talk about it. Or you saying she is or she isn't. Cyrock's an amazing artist. And I think she should be heard by way more people. Right. By the same token, people know and have always known Eazy-E, for example, didn't write no bars, could barely finish verses, but he wore that straight jacket.
I'm not gonna use the writing thing in this conversation.
That's fine. I'm just saying, but Eazy-E was a provocative artist. Some people hated that. But he went to the White House. He did all these incredibly just outrageous things, and he'll forever be remembered.
Right. And add on to Eazy-E rapped what they was trying to talk about, what they saw in the street. Eazy was Compton. He was a lowrider. Yeah. He dressed what they were trying. They didn't have the rap at the time. That was Eazy-E's. That's why they made him rap, because he was what they was rapping about. So
fact.
he is hip hop.
He is hip hop. I'm not saying he wasn't.
that,
Yes,
you know?
he is. But there were other artists of the time, say King T, and again, no slight to King T. I mean,
I like
he's one of my favorites. Act a Fool, all of that.
Fool. Because I'm cool.
But he didn't do some of the shocking antics
right.
that Eazy-E did. And Eazy-E was intentional about doing stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? He knew he had a mastery of the media and the press and the television at the time, and it immortalized him in a lot of different ways. So I'm not saying Doja Cat is equivalent to that, but it's the same thinking, you know. So I feel like my closing remark. We should all have closing remarks. My closing remarks are we need as a culture to get back to being a culture, even if you will, regulating our culture. I don't think that's possible now. I don't think it's possible now. We can't say, yo, you're not hip hop. I'm gonna run you off stage and kick you off. It doesn't work like that anymore. But I think we should uplift the artists we love,
Right.
spend less time on the ones we don't love, and support and respect anyone that's pushing the culture forward.
Right, and I'll piggyback off of that and say, make the type of music you want to hear, support the type of music you want to hear, and if you don't like it, don't listen to it or promote it.
Fair enough. We just promoted Doja Cat.
I know. I didn't say I didn't like Doja Cat. I just said she wasn't hip hop.
She wasn't hip hop.
She wasn't hip hop. I didn't say I didn't like her. Didn't say that.
All right. And Wonda, your final statement?
Keep it hip hop, man. That's it.
Fair enough.
Let's keep it hip hop, man.
Fair
That's
enough.
all.
Fair enough.
Let's keep this thing going.
I
man.
agree with you on that. And so it's two and two, because Bobby Yan, the director, is over here and he says she's hip hop. So we're
that's all subjective.
We're in alignment, and y'all say she's not, and so it's a tie. It's a tie.
I just hope that if they do decide, and I say they, because we all know this is all controlled and rigged, that if they do decide to put her as the face
they
of
can't do that.
hip hop, I just hope that she does the right thing with it. That's all.
I don't listen. One thing I know about her is I don't think she cares. She's
not hip hop. She don't care.
Nah, bruh, come on now. Now wait a minute. Does Lil Wayne care?
I think Lil Wayne
cares.
Lil Wayne cares.
That's why he did the mixtape documentary.
I mean, look at the song. He
Bro.
wrote songs with people that are legends.
Fans, God bless
Like
Lil
Wayne.
Wayne.
Wayne cares, man.
Nah,
Lil
Lil Wayne
is on mixtape documentary.
It depends.
Lil
Wait.
Wayne is the
Okay.
walking embodiment of hip hop.
He definitely is hip hop.
We cannot say that about
me. I made a post just yesterday, and I said Lil Wayne does not get enough credit for being a GOAT.
Oh, no,
I
he's
said
dope.
this. Oh, look at the comments under that post. But the comments, there's the post.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah.
There's the post.
That's the post.
But people brought up other things about him
No,
that had nothing to do with music.
And that's the problem.
And that's
we
the
talking about music.
the same goes with Doja Cat. It does. Yeah, a lot of it has nothing to do with her ability to rap. If we're talking about her ability to rap, last night at the VMAs was proof she can rap. She can rap.
So everybody that can rap is hip hop, is what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this woman's career is as a rapper.
Because remember the rapper.
What are we talking about?
I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm not. I don't want to go back into it. I'm just saying, like you say, keep it hip hop. I fully agree with you. But if the culture's going to survive and live, we need commercial viability. I personally have said on the record, let's go underground again. I'm cool with that. I'm perfectly comfortable. But if it's not necessary, we're going to need.
But look.
And Nicki, by the way, would never accept Doja Cat as the queen. It's not happening.
She shouldn't.
And in fact,
because she's hip hop, she's competitive.
And
why would she accept that?
But listen to Doja Cat's bars. I thought they were going at each other last night. But they said she was going at Lotto and some other people. But it sounded like they was going at each other. If you listen to her bars, Doja Cat's and Nicki's, it sounds
in
so
the rap
cool.
battle, who you got, Doja Cat or Nicki?
Oh, I would never bet against Nicki unless it was Remy Ma. Then that's
see, Remy don't get the credit she deserves. If you
Remy needs to come
should be ahead
with
of
some new music. We talked about that last time she was here at One World. I mean, we love Remy. Man. But that's a whole nother story because Remy was swinging way below the belt in that beef. But we should probably edit that. Right? We should probably edit that.
No, we shouldn't.
But Nicki, I would not bet against Nicki Minaj.
I would if it's with Remy Ma. I'm going to get Remy.
But that's Remy. You know, I mean,
I'm going to Remy.
But as it relates to, but Remy is not so active right now. So if we're talking about the rest of them,
right? I got you.
Nicki all day.
Shout out to all females, man.
Shout out to all females.
Just be creative and
shout out to all of them.
Raise the bar.
Raise the bar. You don't have to have your clothes off in every imagery of performance. I gotta put that out there. There's a lot more to women. You know, have some class about yourself. You know,
Hey man, you're not gonna get me into the politics.
I'm just saying, like, that's just how I look at it.
I mean, I'm gonna speak for men too.
No, men too. Yeah, men too.
Better. We need to stop selling. Everything is not about gangs,
killing,
drugs,
and genocide.
And genocide.
Right?
Right.
Okay, genocide. If you're gonna do that, it's a whole bunch.
Our next conversation. Let me shift. Our next conversation. We're gonna have another one after this. Is Nas the king? Don't answer. Don't answer.
Well, he made King Disease.
Don't answer. Is he no? Is he the GOAT? Is he the GOAT?
He made King's Disease.
Man, listen.
It's he made 6 albums.
Be back next week.
Years. And it's 50s.
Woo, it's real crazy right now.
Oh, hip hop, baby.
You can't ignore what that man is doing.
Yeah.
All right, man.